Hello everyone, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a quick mail call or mail catch-up video. So I've had, I think about a half a dozen packages kind of stream in that are all smaller, relatively cheap pickups. Nothing that's going to rock the internet here or drop any jaws, but cards that I think are cool that were very, very affordable and made sense to kind of group them all into one video here. So we'll just get right down to it. The first one is a Sport Lots package that contained 4 cards. I think I've talked about this before on the channel, but with that particular site, many of the sellers have very, very cheap shipping rates if you stick to 4 cards or less. So that's a theme of mine when ordering on the site. And I have a 4-pack here. These are all Red Sox purple refractors from the 2012 Topps Chrome release. There's a little bit of background glare, so apologies there, but we've got Ryan Lavarnway, John Lester. You can still get an idea for the nice shine on these. They're your standard Topps Chrome refractors. I think everybody knows what these look like. Josh Beckett. And last but certainly not least, I was happy to pick up David Ortiz as well. So purpose behind these, they were all had for pocket change, and the reason I am grabbing those is I have a Z Folio that is actually purple in color, and I'm trying to fill it with all purple refractors of various sorts. So part of that at the beginning of that binder is an attempt to complete the Red Sox team sets from Topps Chrome, all in purple refractor format. And I was missing all 4 of those from the 2012 team set. And so that was a nice little pickup there to make some damage on that project. Next, we have a couple hockey cards. So sticking with the shiny theme for a moment, I've talked on the channel before how I love the one and only officially licensed Panini Prism NHL set, which is this 2013-14 release. So I picked up 4 colored parallels from a seller on Sport Lots. First, we have the green Mika Zibanejad. So this is interesting. He got off to kind of a rough start to the season this year. But not too long ago, just a week or so back, or maybe a couple weeks back, he registered, I believe, 5 assists in a single period, which is an impressive feat. So cool parallel there. Next up, we have a red of, in my opinion, future Hall of Famer Roberto Luongo. I like that one. Always enjoy a nice goalie card. Here's a red of Patrick Marleau of the Sharks. So this one's kind of funny because Chris, my friend Chris, who goes by The Collector, he sent me one of these in his recent care package, and these were literally en route in the mail when his package arrived. But it's definitely not a big loss at all. I love these so much that I happily keep multiple copies of each card in my Z Folio, my hockey Z Folio. So I'll tuck this one right next to the one that Chris sent me and enjoy them both. And then last here, we have a Duncan Keith. This is the red Pulsar version. These are really, really cool. Just have that extra element of shininess beyond the standard parallel. Duncan Keith's been an incredibly successful longtime defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks, been part of multiple Stanley Cup teams, and I just really thought this was a cool parallel, especially with the team color matching effect of the Chicago Blackhawks with the red here. So went ahead and picked that lot of 4 up, and those will be making their way, whoops, as I make a mess out of this, into my shiny hockey card binder in the near future, probably with some dinged corners, thanks to my moves there. And that's actually a good segue into the next package, because this is a 1-card pickup from Sport Lots, and it also features Duncan Keith. So I talked in a recent video about my love for the Upper Deck canvas hockey parallels. Well, Duncan Keith, it just so happens, in the 2013-14 set, has what is, in my opinion, one of the greatest photos on any canvas parallel. And here it is. So this is, of course, the season after the Blackhawks had won the Stanley Cup, and he managed to get a photo that depicts, I'm assuming, his son or somebody's young son, literally sitting inside the Stanley Cup during the on-ice celebration. You can see Duncan still in all of his gear here. This is obviously immediately after the cup-winning game, And I just think this is such a cool, unique photograph. You just don't see a lot of stuff like this on modern cards. I wish companies were willing to be a little bit more quirky and fun like this. Is this a card that I'm going to send to PSA and hope for a 10 so that I can, be on the fast track to early retirement? No, it cost me 18 cents, the minimum purchase price on Sport Lots, and I think 50 cents in shipping. But I mean, if you don't find that to be a fun card, then I guess you're just a different type of collector than I am, which is fine. But to me, I think for less than $1 shipped to my door, it was worth that all day long just to find that card in the mailbox. So bear with me one more minute here. We have one more hockey card. I know hockey is not for everybody, but I've spoken a few times about the Upper Deck clear cut acetate parallels that they've had in their flagship release for, I think, the last 5 years or so. Shown quite a few off, and I have another one here that I'm very, very proud to have picked up from the Edmonton Oilers. This is Leon Draisaitl from last year's release, the 2019-20 set. He is an absolute beast, right alongside Connor McDavid in Edmonton. They are sort of two of the premier stars of the NHL, and so I'm really, really happy to have been able to pick this one up. I snagged this when somebody had it available for less than $10 with free shipping. And again, as I've talked about in the past, these fall at a rate of 1 per 3 hobby boxes in that product. So, only one of these Draisaitl cards, again, exists, in every 100 or more cases of Upper Deck flagship hockey. So I just continue to beat the drum and say that these are very underrated rare parallels, and I was very happy to scoop this one up, given that he has already won, an Art Ross and the Hart Trophy for, both MVP and leading the league in scoring. And so one of the bright stars in the game today, and very, very happy to have acquired this rare parallel, which I'll put with my small collection of clear-cut cards. And next we have some from the totally random realm. So recently, as I think most of you know, Topps now produced some cards to commemorate the inauguration of the Biden and Kamala Harris administration. And so these I picked up probably more for my wife. I don't consider myself super political, but found a seller that had some of these available very, very cheap on eBay, and picked up a pair of Joe Biden's, one of the Amanda Gorman cards. She is the National Poet Laureate that read one of her poems at the inauguration. This was what spurred me to pick up the cards. My wife is an English teacher, middle school English teacher, so she thought it was just really, really cool that Topps created a card to commemorate this moment. And so I wanted to be able to purchase an Amanda Gorman rookie card, so to speak, for my wife. So that'll actually be a part of her very small collection of cards. And then finally, I did pick up a pair of Kamala Harris as well, just to go with the pair of Joe Biden's. I think I grabbed a couple of the Bernie Sanders mittens card as well, but those are obviously just stored somewhere else. So maybe I'll show those down the line, although I think you've all seen them by now. And then finally, we have what is my favorite card of today. And this is totally, totally random, and something that I hope some of you will at least appreciate, and most of you probably haven't seen before. When I was a kid growing up, arguably my favorite book was The Hobbit. I just loved token books, and read the Hobbit, cover to cover many, many times, and ended up reading the Lord of the Rings trilogy that followed cover to cover as well. I've watched the movies more times than I'd care to admit, and listened to the audiobooks, you name it. And so one of the cards that exists that features a character from those novels that I think is just awesome, I was able to pick up on eBay recently for $1, and that is a Bilbo Baggins sort of stained glass insert. So this checks so many boxes for me. Obviously, he is the protagonist from the novel The Hobbit, which again was a favorite of mine growing up. So I just think it is so, so cool to have a card of him in my collection. On top of that, I love acetate, as I've admitted many times on this channel. And you can see here, this is a see-through stained glass effect going on with this card. So just beyond cool. Not something that's for everybody, not something that's super valuable, but you can see this is from a Topps Lord of the Rings Evolution release. I really don't know too much about this. I think it came out in like 2006 or something like that. But these are really cool. There's a 10-card insert set that exists. I think somewhere in my collection I actually have the entire 10-card insert set. But when I stumbled upon this recently on eBay and it was listed for $1, I just couldn't help myself. I thought it would be a good excuse to show it on the channel here during a mail day. And so for all of you who are into collecting goats and who maybe are fans of the Hobbit or the Lord of the Ring franchise, you know, why not go out and pick up a card of the Lord of the Rings goat, Bilbo Baggins. So that's the final card for today. Sort of just a really random smattering of the kind of stuff that I look for on the cheap when I'm browsing around on eBay and other sites. So I know this was really, really random. Hopefully there's something here for everyone. Maybe you saw something you've never seen before that you thought was cool. But in any event, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll certainly be back soon with more video content. Take care.